A massive thank you to Jeff, Rustam, K-Vizzer, Paul and Barho for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 16 of Season 3 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yes, just 5 races to go of Season 3 and we are really getting into the nitty gritty now of this championship campaign. Quickly before we dive into it though, again, I've said it in the last couple of videos, a massive thank you for 20,000 subscribers as well. There, you know, the support has been absolutely mind-blowing over the last couple of months. I cannot thank you guys enough for the continued support there. I've kind of set up like a half goal by the end of the year. Now, if we could get to 22k for 2022, it would be greatly appreciated as well. But yeah, diving though into the US Grand Prix weekend, championship-wise, Lando Norris leads the way by 4 over Lewis Hamilton. If you missed out on the last video, definitely recommend going back and checking it out. It was an absolute worldie from Suzuka there. Daniel Ricciardo still in the mix though, 18 points off the title lead there. McLaren looking pretty comfortable at the top of the Constructors' Championship, so maybe, just maybe, the Mercedes run is coming to an end here. JB currently sat in 7th, 13 points ahead of myself there as well, locked into battle with Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda there. And we're 4th in the Constructors, a long way off Ferrari, just trying to beat out Red Bull between now and the end of the year. Haven't had any announcements yet about potential rule changes for next year. Maybe we'll get those at COTA this weekend. Let's dive in to the US Grand Prix.
Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Right, well there we go then. Rule changes confirmed for Season 4 of the My Team Career Mode, and it's aero and chassis where we're at our strongest. Currently in Formula 1 there, so we've got 8 weeks, 2 departments, 47 parts at risk. This is a massive shake-up ready for next season there. So we've got to try and adapt a huge host of parts ready for next year there. We're going to spend about 2,000 R&D points on each department there just to get us started. But that is a massive change there. Normally it might affect like 1, maybe 2 departments. Two like areas of each department there. But that is absolutely insane. So we've been able to get a few sorted out already there. How many? That's only like, what? 10? 12 parts though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 parts of 47. We've got another 18 parts left at risk on the chassis, 19 left on the aero. We've got our work cut out between now and the end of the year to try and get as many of these parts sorted. And the best way to do that is jump in and earn some free practice points. So I've been trying to do my maths in the head there, and I reckon roughly we're going to need about 12,000 more R&D points to try and get the rest of these upgrades sorted by the end of the year. And that's 100 gained.
You'll get a bonus for consistency if you can chain good corners together.
This is going to be so difficult ready for Season 4, I tell you what. Round in the final corner to complete the tyre wear program though, another 100 R&D. Let's get into qualifying.
Tyre wear is more.
Well, at least the sun is shining here in the Lone Star State of Texas, but fingers crossed here we can try and get through at least into Q2 nice and easily this weekend. I've just remembered I haven't gone out on the medium, so hopefully when we make it through into Q2, I will do our first run then on a set of the medium compound tyres here. But I mean, yeah, really we should be getting through Q1 on one run nowadays, as that is a lot of curve through turn 1 and a lot of wheel spin on the exit. Down in towards the S's though, must admit, the car does feel like it's on rails through here. At least it did in free practice there, just so much grip, so much rotation on turn in there, and you can really just try and now point the car where you need it to. Like I said, I'm running quite a high downforce effort this weekend. I think that's going to be the key to success here. Obviously trying to get around other cars down the straights, but being able to stick close to them through the twisty bits as well. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Right in the final corner, up towards the line. It's going to be a 29.1. Puts us half a second off Tsunoda. Fingers crossed that's good enough, but we might have to go out later on in the session. There we go, so into Q2 then at the end of the day there. McLaren, though, looking mighty fast this weekend. They're 1 and 2 at the end of the first runs. I am, however, wondering whether maybe, just maybe, we could get a bit lucky here. If we watch McLaren and Mercedes still battle out right to the end of the year, maybe they could trip over each other and help us out ready for Season 2. I think that's a little way away just yet. But yeah, 1.2 off our teammate JB, though, losing a bit of time everywhere around the lap. But again, we come on strong during races. Let's get into Q2. Right, let's go out for our first run then in Q2 on a set of mediums. Of course, like we said, we have got a couple of sets of softs if we do need to try and use them there. But again, starting P11 ended up working out really nicely for us at Japan last time. Maybe we could get the same sort of luck today, you know. Qualifying isn't the end of the day, no points awarded on Saturday. Unless, of course, it's a sprint race weekend. But, yeah, of course, you've got to prepare yourself for Sundays. That's a lot of curb. But I'm sure the FIA didn't notice that. Oh, we're running through the penultimate corner there. That'll be the IndyCar line as we head through the final turn. Has not been the best lap in the world, but hopefully an okay banker. No, 1:29.9. We're going to need at least another second over that. Getting ready then for our second run. We're going to have to make a tough decision at the end of this one. We won't have time for a third if we try and complete this lap, so if we're not far enough ahead, we will probably have to abandon here with only 5 minutes left on the clock. But then again, obviously, if it's a really good lap, or at least what I hope is a really good lap, we'll have to complete it and pray that it's enough.
Jensen's currently in pole position.
I'm well aware JB is, and even the game reckons I can't get within 6/10 of him. Through Sector 3, you really just notice the delta absolutely skyrocket here. We're almost a second up. So we head through the Turkey section there. Still can't quite take it completely flat out in this car at the moment, but round in the final couple of corners. Oh, again, missed the apex there. I'm going to bail. Only a second up. I think we need a bit more than that. So we're going to go out for one last-ditch attempt at the end of qualifying here. But yeah, I don't think that time would have been enough. How on earth has it taken the game 2 minutes to put us back in the pit box there? I deliberately went into the pit lane so it wouldn't simulate doing an extra run. But apparently it takes us 2 minutes to get back to the box. Well, I hope now that people go quicker than a 28.8. Otherwise, we have absolutely fluffed up qualifying here. Genuinely thought, yeah, we'd have enough time to go out for another run, but Cody's might have screwed us. Right, well, there we go. If we had found about that 1.1 then, we would have been around Guan Yu Zhou, so still pretty gutted with that, I can't lie, but it's a lot less painful than if we'd accidentally, well, if we'd just bail out on a Q3 worthy run there at the end of the session. But does mean we got fresh rubber for the start. Ferrari as well, looking monstrously fast this weekend. Let's dive in to the US Grand Prix.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of the wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles an hour, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into Turn 1 and the very long back straight into Turn 12. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Button, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Russell, Nikita Mazepin, Mr. Monaco, Bottas, Latifi, Antonio Giovinazzi and Robert Schwartzman, Gasly, Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
We're still in with a chance of winning the title. We need you to push as hard as you can in the 5 remaining races.
I had not even considered that for one moment, Jeff. There is no way we're going to be in the World Championship hunt at the end of this year, but I like the motivation behind that message as well there. But we are ready on the grid for the US Grand Prix, round 16 of the year here. And again, we're going to try and do medium to soft this weekend. I think is going to be the way forward. We want to be mighty fast right towards the end of this one as well. I think a safety car is fairly likely to come out at some point during this Grand Prix as well, but we'll have to wait and see about that. No change in the weather, which is really good to see as well. Let's dive in then here to this race. A few grid penalties have boosted us up the order. Waiting on those 5 red lights though. And it is going to be a very long hole, but lights out and away we go. Tried to use the overtake mode there and it has not worked as we head down towards turn 1. They're going to be aggressive in towards the first braking zone. We'll slot up the inside of a couple of people there, and we will actually make up a few places off the start. So straight up into 13th. So we've made up 1 spot off the start, which isn't too shabby there. As we actually get a punt from George Russell behind us. So I'm not too sure what that was all about from the Aston Martin man, but yeah, it's given us a little bit of a helping hand, and I'm sure now he's probably got damage and is going to lose a lot of time on the opening lap here. You can already see, yeah, the gap opening up to nearly 2 seconds already. But at the front of the field, though, Hamilton and Tsunoda on the front row as we're trying to look around the outside of Stroll. Can't quite make anything work there. One of the Mercedes even has gone backwards behind JB and I think Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari car there, but I don't know which one it is. I guess Tsunoda there as Mazepin having a look at the inside of Perez. We'll have a look at the inside of Lance Stroll. It gives us a big squeeze, but we make the move work, and we're up now into P12. By the end of lap 1, but I think again the key today, hang on in the DRS of the guys in front early on and then try and be mighty fast late in the race. And at the end of lap 1 I can confirm it is Tsunoda who fell down behind a couple of people there. So Hamilton in his championship fight did exactly what he needed to off the start there. That run out of the final corner was not what we needed though. Stroll having a look to the inside. We'll try and go deep on the brakes there. Stroll even later though back towards turn 1 and nothing we can do to defend the position.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Rather worryingly, by the time the DRS has already been enabled in this Grand Prix, we've lost out the 1 second gap to Stroll, who was a man on a mission at the moment, taking big chunks of time out of Sergio. I tell you what, with heavy fuel, these mediums really just aren't working early on in this Grand Prix there. I think we've just got to try and get our head down and focus still, but yeah, just really struggling with understeer. Look at that, that's horrendous. Through the hairpin there, not too sure what we could really do to help it at this early stage of the Grand Prix, apart from try and keep the temps down. But yeah, desperately wish I'd ran a slightly higher ride height as well. There's a couple of places where we're grounding out and the car's getting very, very loose and lively. It really is just these off weekends that we need to sort out if we really want to become a title threat next year. We get a few Grand Prix a year where we absolutely punch above our weight in this thing, and then just a few others where the car feels all over the place and just we really, really struggle there. We're still losing a couple of tenths a lap to Stroll. Gasly behind us is taking like a second out of me in about 3 laps. He's absolutely flying in the clean air there, but yeah, just really odd.
2.7 seconds.
Often see it in real Formula 1 as well, where just someone can't seem to get a car working some weekends. There is Button, yeah, I mean, is fighting out for the lead.
You're catching the car ahead by around 5 tenths a lap.
Suddenly, yeah, as Jeff's just confirmed, the pace starting to go the other way. In this Grand Prix again, we're starting to take a bit of time out of Stroll, Perez and Mazepin here, so I'm sure Mazepin causing a bit of a train. But Gasly now, yeah, hovering just a second behind us. He is absolutely romped back up to the back of this group. Oh, there we go, Button into the pits at the end of lap 8.
Jensen in the pits.
I didn't think it would be much longer before the AI start to make their stops, but that seems rather early, so he must be going either on a 2-stop or on a set of hards, and that was something I hadn't considered here, whether the AI are going to try and 2-stop this. As we head out of the final corner, that could really help us out.
Strategy is available on the MFD.
Button is on another set of softs there, so yeah, JB is trying to 2-stop this. So we are now right back in the mix then, as long as obviously we can take these tyres quite a bit further in this Grand Prix there. But that, yeah, really does open up a whole can of worms. This race isn't over just yet. We might not be struggling as badly as I thought there if the AI are trying to go so aggressive on their rubber. Oh, here comes Gasly though, on the very same lap. Out the inside goes Pierre, and nothing we can do there. try and defend from the AlphaTauri. Let's hope he's boxing soon, though. I don't want to sit behind him.
You might make a mistake.
Normally through this final sector we're pretty strong there as the AlphaTauri. Yeah, I think it's definitely taken a lot out of his rubber. A few more cars into the pits there. Gasly is one of them, as we've now got Hamilton right behind us as well. So I think if we can help JB out in this Grand Prix, we'll certainly try and do so.
1.5 seconds.
And look at that, pulling away from Hamilton as we head back down towards Turn 1. The keys at Mazepin now leads a Formula 1 Grand Prix there as Hamilton did try and have a look at the inside through Turn 1. I wasn't having any of that though, as again he tries it through Turn 2 and can't help but feel that was an optimistic lunge from Hamilton at the very least there, but a bit of contact between myself and one of the World Championship guys still in the fight. But we're focusing on our own race at the moment, and Hamilton not happy about it. Now going to see Hamilton fly past us though in this Grand Prix. Again, the Mercedes goes to the inside, and we might just have to let JB through very, very quickly in this Grand Prix. Hamilton, yeah, nothing we can do to defend from that one there, but a big lock-up from the Mercedes man. Yeah, we'll have to let JB through though in the next few corners, just so we don't hold up our teammate all too badly. We'll do the proper Bottas one there. Let JB through, but don't let any of the other AI by. But yeah, we are technically still in a race with these guys. There's Charles Leclerc behind on a set of hard tyres, so he might be trying to one-stop this. As immediately then after that, Mazepin into the pit, so it is Stroll trying to take them one lap further in this Grand Prix there. That Stroll now leads here at COTA. Charles Leclerc got the legs in that Ferrari. He's certainly gaining in on us as Hamilton tries to make a move past Stroll, but Leclerc can't get close enough this time round. So we'll live to defend for another lap.
Right, some information on Ricciardo. They seem to have an issue.
Ricciardo with issues there as we take the IndyCar line. But Stroll into the pits. So we will now be, the only runner still on their tyres that they started this Grand Prix on. But we've got to try and take these another 4, maybe even 5 laps if we want to get the softs to the end. Oh, we've got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues up the road. Please don't tell me that's Button. Please don't tell me that's our teammate Jensen Button. No! Button! Out of the US Grand Prix here. We got more yellow flags. Though, I think that might be Perez in a safety car. Has been deployed.
Too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
I think we've got to go hard to the end now, surely, don't we? We've got to capitalise on being the only car that hasn't pit just yet and try and get hard tyres through to the end of the Grand Prix there. But gutted for our teammate Jensen Button, who was giving Hamilton a real run for his money early on this weekend there. Hamilton has decided to box in as well, so we are of course going to do the same at the end of the lap. But yeah, just gutted for our teammate there in this Grand Prix. It's going to give the likes of Charles Leclerc a very, very handy advantage at the front there. But yeah, I think everyone else that was on the softs, or most of us that were on the softs there, are going to box it in at the end of the lap. So it's brought us right up into contention. So we just about stay out ahead of Max Verstappen, who of course we are in a big title rivalry with. Mazepin will come out just ahead of us, but we should stay out ahead of Stroll. Yes, in a word there, as we lock up nicely into T1. Right, well, safety car in then at the end of lap 14 here as we cross over the halfway stage of this GP, and now we are in really good contention here. Charles Leclerc leads the way and might be going through to the end there, but Norris, Tsunoda and Ocon, as well as Mazepin in front of us, all definitely going to have to pit again here. So we are like net P3, I want to say, of this Grand Prix, but now's the real test of whether we can match the likes of Hamilton and Charles Leclerc here, as I'm sure Leclerc probably going to bolt it out of the final corner. I want to try and get back past the Alpine as soon as possible here as we head out of the final turn, but big kick of oversteer as we try to put the power down.
But we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
So at least the team on the same page as us then, but yeah, I think all these soft runners are going to be a lot quicker for a few laps. Right, let's see if we can get a run on Mazepin this time around. Then we're certainly gaining as we come towards the end of the back straightaway, but yeah, not quite close enough this time round. Didn't think, Hamilton and I would be battling Alpines today, but here we go. Well, we're surprisingly sticking with these guys rather well off the restart. I'll be honest, I thought we'd drop back a little bit more, but yeah, fingers crossed we can try and therefore have a look past Mazepin at some point soon. Of course, DRS enabled this time.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
But yeah, of course, Stroll behind us as well, holding up Verstappen an absolute treat. So if we can get past Mazepin, maybe then we can focus our sights on Hamilton. And then we can try and work maybe with the Merc to close up to Charles Leclerc, who of course is on the same tyres, but slightly older rubber. And I'm now not sure whether it's these hard tyres or the fact we've got a bit less fuel in the car, but these tyres feel absolutely wonderful at the moment. The mediums earlier on felt horrendous in this Grand Prix, but now it's all starting to come together a bit later on. Can we get a run on Mazepin as we head down the back straightaway? We're certainly going to get close. Mazepin is going to go defensive. We're going to have a look to the inside though. Tiny bit later on the brakes, get it slowed down, squeeze him out. I'm up to 6th. As we head out the final couple of corners there, we've got a few more into the pits, so we should get a better idea of where we are again in this Grand Prix. And it's all of the soft runners then, so we are back up into P3 now here at Cota, but Charles Leclerc 3 seconds up the road, Hamilton 1.4, and has now been unleashed as well here, but we're into the podium places. Mazepin's going to have to stay out here one more lap. Not too sure what the Canadian Stroll is doing as well behind him. But yeah, we are now suddenly right in the mix. Oh, there we go, Mazepin into the pits as well at the end of lap 18 there. But the gap to Hamilton staying the same. Leclerc though, it's coming down. So maybe we might have a battle on our hands in the final few laps here. I'm absolutely trying to get everything out of this thing at the moment, but I think our best shot at the race victory is praying that Leclerc is not going to play easy with Hamilton at this stage of the GP, because yeah, we're not really closing on our Hamilton. Much the gap to Leclerc seems to go up and down a bit more as well there, but if they start battling, maybe we can get ourselves involved. I think now is where we're going to see Hamilton really starting to apply some pressure to Charles Leclerc here, and this could either be make or break for us in this Grand Prix there. Are we going to see Hamilton get a run on Charles Leclerc this time around there? The gap down under half a second. I don't think he's going to get close enough this time, but what we need is for him just not to sail past the Ferrari. Actually have to battle him through a few corners there, because yeah, this gap between all three of us, 3 cars, 3 teams, 3 different power units, it could all come down to the wire. 5 to go, and Hamilton's still hounding Charles Leclerc at the moment, but no opportunity has opened up. Hamilton really struggles to stay close to him through the S's, of course, naturally, with just all the dirty air kicked up from the rear end of Charles Leclerc's car. But yeah, Hamilton then gets really close down the back straight, but not close enough to do anything. And we're just waiting in the wings at the moment, pushing like crazy. I'm actually now starting to wonder more and more whether Hamilton's just going to save up all the way until the final lap here, and then just watch Charles Leclerc slowly drain his battery, trying to defend from him, and then as soon as Charles Leclerc's out, just fly past him on the final lap here. The gap is still coming down now, all 3 cars separated by just 1.7, but we just feel like we're hanging on in there at the moment, watching a battle, but can't get in it. Oh, here we go. There goes Hamilton, lap 26 to the outside, but Charles Leclerc having none of it that time round. Slamming the door on the Mercedes, and now it starts to heat up there. 1.2 between all 3 of us. If we can get some DRS now, that would be really handy. Just like that. There we go. DRS now enabled for us in the US Grand Prix. Not close enough to go for anything just yet, but if it all comes to blows between the top 2, we are definitely waiting in the wings, ready to pounce here. Just 1 and a bit more laps around the US Grand Prix. Can Charles Leclerc put Ferrari back on top once again in this season? He's already had a couple of wins to his name in recent times in Formula 1. Just needs Ferrari to give him a championship winning car at some point down the line as well there. But is Hamilton, I mean, 7 points could be a crucial swing for him in his title chances as well there. Is he going to be able to get close enough as we just start to make a couple of small mistakes out of the final corner there? The gap opens up slightly. Hamilton though all in the wheel track. Charles Leclerc has to go defensive back down towards turn 1, and this is exactly what we need there. As Leclerc, a bit of a mistake through turn 1, just boxes Hamilton in just a little bit here, and that just allows us to get a little bit closer once again to these front 2 as we ride through the S's for the final time in this Grand Prix. My front tyres are absolutely gone at this stage there. The game is letting us take a lot of curb though through there as we try and get towards the top of the hill, out towards the grass. That's just how hard we're pushing at these dying stages of the Grand Prix. But now it's moment of truth time. Is Hamilton going to be able to get the run on Charles Leclerc here and upset Ferrari's party on the final lap of the US Grand Prix. Hamilton, he's gaining in on Charles Leclerc. Of course, Charles Leclerc's going to have to go defensive here. Hamilton to the outside. Can he make it work on Charles Leclerc? He's going to have the inside for the next corners. This is a mega battle, but Charles Leclerc puts the power down and will hold on to the lead for now, unless Hamilton goes for a send somewhere in the final few corners of the US Grand Prix. It does look like Charles Leclerc is going to take the race victory here. We get all in the wheel tracks of Lewis Hamilton through the final couple of corners there, but I don't think... Whoa! I was not expecting that on the final lap of the US Grand Prix there. We've got to make sure we do hold on ahead of Max Verstappen in this Grand Prix there, but Charles Leclerc takes home the race victory. We've almost binned it trying to keep up with Hamilton and the Ferrari car there, but it's another podium on the board and we'll take that.
Great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
They take the checkered flag here in Austin after what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
Let's move on to the Constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the US Grand Prix there. And what drama towards the end of the race. We were lucky, to be honest, on that final lap to hold on ahead of Max Verstappen there. But yeah, realistically, Leclerc, Hamilton and I would have all finished within about a second of each other had we not made that small mistake on the last lap there. But Max Verstappen comes through for P4 ahead of Gasly and Stroll there. So 6 cars from 6 different teams in your top 6 there. 4 cars with 4 different power units in your top 4 as well. Goes to show how close Formula 1 is at the moment there. But Charles Leclerc back on top with Ferrari once more there. Carlos Sainz down in 7th ahead of Ricciardo, Tsunoda and Lando Norris there, with both Alpines missing out on points at the end of the day there. George Russell ended up making a 3-stop strategy work and finished in P13 there. But JB and Sergio Perez both not making it to the checkered flag. A heartbreaking weekend there for Haas. Haas as well, 19th and 20th, not what they would have wanted at their home Grand Prix as well there. But it does mean championship-wise, we're now 2 ahead of our teammate Jenson Button. Still 8 points to close up to Max Verstappen there, and 12 to Yuki Tsunoda as well. Maybe, just maybe, if we get lucky, Carlos Sainz might still be catchable by the end of the year as well there. But Hamilton retakes the lead, 14 now ahead of Lando Norris. Ricciardo, 29 points back with 4 races to go. He's going to really need to up the ante in the final few rounds there. Stroll gets some big points on the board as well to jump Guan Yu Zhou and Nikita Mazepin there. And constructors-wise, no movement. Mercedes obviously make big gains on McLaren there. The gap down to just 63. It is definitely not over at the top of the championship as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well, and we'll be back very soon. We're around 17 of the year. We'll head to Mexico. It's a track that's delivered absolutely chaotic races in the first 2 seasons of this series, so I'm sure you guys will not want to miss it.
A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you're already featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button, down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.